And I'm a country boy, obviously. I grew up in a rural community, and the problem with living in a rural community is I can't say the word rural. Rural. I don't know why they give the hardest words to the people with the least intelligence. Rural. It makes me think maybe my dog didn't know how to talk. And he was trying to teach me how to say it. Rural. Rural. You keep this up, we're both gonna get neutered. Now you're gonna find this hard to believe, but here's where it gets weird. I know. Say it ain't so, Dale. My home address was Route 1. And I learned if you say that 5 times fast, you sound like Scooby-Doo, and your teacher will hold you back a year. I couldn't say it. I look like an idiot. All the kids are like, where you live, Dale?
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Dale. I hope this goes well. I showered for this. I did. I showered. I rented this shirt. I cut my hair. I used to have long hair, but I cut it all off because I got tired of looking like the old guy that sold me weed when I was a kid. That's what I saw when I looked in the mirror. I saw my dad. And it didn't look good. It didn't. I kept telling myself it looked good. I gave myself like a pep talk every morning. I go, you look cool, Dale. You look super cool. You look like Sam Elliott on Roadhouse. You look super cool. Right? And then my friends would tell me the truth. You look like that drunk guy on Shameless. I mean,
It kind of does.
So here's what I found out about gingivitis. I just go into my jokes. I'm like a human see and say. I pull the cord and I don't know what's going to happen. But the way I see it, nobody else in this town uses turn signals, so why should I? Wow. That's a lot of bitter driver's ed teachers right there.
They took the sign off my hood.
So, take 2. Gingivitis causes erectile dysfunction. Yeah, you hear that? That's only women laughing because the men are like,
I need to floss.
I'm not making this up. I saw this on a poster at the dentist's office, and I don't get it. I don't see how the two are connected either. But I understand the flip side of that coin, because if I saw a woman with rotten gums, my erectile wouldn't function either. Right? And I told that to my dentist thinking he'd giggle. He didn't laugh at all. He just stared at me and turned the gas up. But what he didn't know is I'd been hitting that stuff the whole time he's out of the room. Right? I was putting it in Ziploc bags and saving it. What? I've been fired a lot. I probably won't make it the whole show. Probably another 3 minutes, a blow dart's gonna hit me in the neck. The owner of the club will come up here and go, that was Dale Jones, and we are sorry. I got fired one time for being tardy. Can you believe that? Tardy. I was like, I don't think you're supposed to call people that anymore. And I'm a country boy, obviously. I grew up in a rural community, and the problem with living in a rural community is I can't say the word rural. Rural. I don't know why they give the hardest words to the people with the least intelligence. Roar, roar. It makes me think maybe my dog didn't know how to talk. And he was trying to teach me how to say it. Roar. Roar, 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 roar. You keep this up, we're both gonna get neutered. Now you're gonna find this hard to believe, but here's where it gets weird. I know.
Say it ain't so, Dale.
My home address was Route 1. And I learned if you say that 5 times fast, you sound like Scooby-Doo, and your teacher will hold you back here. I couldn't say it. I look like an idiot. All the kids are like, "Where you live, Dale?" And after all these years, I'm still a mess. I dislocated my kneecap on stage one time, telling jokes to an. I can't believe. Thanks for clapping. Woo!
Let's see it again.
I was standing on my ankle, right, acting stupid, and all of a sudden I heard my leg go, "Hey, Dale, I'm gonna go." And I hit the ground hard, and the crowd was like that.
This is great. He really commits to his material, Bill.
And I looked down, and my kneecap was over here, right? And I pushed it back in because my OCD kicked in, and I was like, well, that doesn't belong there. And then the next thought in my head was, well, I finally get to ride one of them scooters at the store. Yeah. Here's what I learned about riding scooters. It's bad enough when you're eye to eye with the people of Walmart. Yeah. And it's a flat out nightmare when you're crotch cruising. That'll shorten your shopping list. I made it about 2 minutes. I was like, I don't need nothing today. It's in my mouth. I can taste the food stamps. I really dislocated my knee, and then I had to go back on the road and do all my shows on crutches, because guess who's poor? I don't know if you've ever traveled the country on crutches, but here's what happens when you're at the airport. You get off the plane, little cart pulls up, takes you to your next plane, because they don't want to wait 30 minutes while you're going, I'm coming, I'm coming. So this old man comes up in a cart, right? And he wasn't just old, rigor mortis was right behind him. And he comes flying up and he goes, hey! And after about 30 seconds, I'm like, I'm over here, sorry. And then he told me the horn on his cart doesn't work, so he's gonna have to yell at people to move. He's like, you still wanna go? Hell yes, I wanna go. This is gonna be better than Disney. And you would have think he'd just drive the cart and say, excuse me, cart coming through, please move. No, this guy tried to do an impression of a horn. He did it like, man, 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 man. And people are like, is he strangling a duck? And I'd like to say it looked like a one-man idiot parade, but I was next to him. So like any good parade, I just start throwing candy. That's it. I gotta go. Thank you so much.
Live from Zany's.
Hey, this is Neighbor Argetzi. I'm bringing you some of the best comics that you might not know yet, but you're about to get to know them. And don't worry, they're going to be on their best behavior. We shot this live in Nashville, Tennessee. It's the Nate Land Showcase.
Hi. Welcome to another episode of He Looks Contagious. And I'm going to start out by telling you guys the same thing I tell my wife every night when she comes to bed. Thank you for showing up. Now, I'll make this quick. So today I was sitting downtown on the bench, right? And apparently I look homeless because a dude in a suit gave me $1 and said he'd pray for me. So I grabbed his leg and I didn't let go till he gave me $2. I know, you can't tell by looking at me, but entrepreneur. Got your arms crossed. That's like my mother.
Now that's enough.
This is what happens when your mom drinks Mad Dog 2020 when she's pregnant. Oh, one person with me.
I grew up in a trailer too.
My mom drank so much Mad Dog with me, I came out with fleas. And I was a hyper baby too, and I know you guys are like,
Say it ain't so.
I was super hyper. When I was born, my dad couldn't even hold me. I was all over the place. I'm sorry that took a while. I'm a virgin. I'm just saying, it's sugar all over the place, right? And the doctor's like, what do you think your boy? And he goes, I think he's going to be an outside kid. See how I brought that joke back? Professional. I feel like this side of the room is a jury of not my peers. You just have that look like,
We didn't know Gary Busey had a kid.
people are clapping.
I'm glad he knows. I didn't want to tell him.
So I'm happily married, but I don't ask my wife because I don't want that second opinion. But I'm a lucky man. I know I'm lucky, especially when I see my friends hitting on younger women. You ever seen a 50-year-old man hitting on a 25-year-old woman? My Lord, from a distance, it looks exhausting. I don't want to work that hard. I wouldn't even know what to say to a young lady now. I'd be like, hi, my name's Dale, and my hobbies include getting up twice a night to pee. Have you seen my readers? I have to sit down when I pee too. Things are just so different now. I'm 54. I never thought I'd see 54. Dad said I'd never see 11. Things are so different now. When I was a kid, if I was at a party and the police showed up, I'd be like, oh my God, the police are here, run! Now if I'm at a party and the police show up, I'm like, thank God the police are here! These people are out of control.
No, that's not how you play Jenga, Bill.
By the way, if you ever lose your mind, go to the gym. That way, when you're sitting in the corner rocking back and forth, people think you're doing sit-ups. And if you ever get stuck in a boring conversation and you want to get out of it really quick, do what I do. Just out of nowhere, go, something bit me. Yeah. Try it. That conversation's over. I do it all the time. I do. Especially when I'm talking to myself. Here's what happened to me, and I know you guys are like, please don't make eye contact. When I was a kid, I saw a billboard that said, Jesus is the answer. And what it should have said is, don't take this literally, Dale, or you're going to flunk math. Yeah. 4 times 4 is not Jesus. Who knew? Why hast thou forsaken me? Here's what I like to do when I'm not sitting at home and smelling markers. I like to hang out in truck stops and let the drivers know when their shower's ready. It's a lot of fun. Just walk up to a trucker. Your shower's ready. You want to borrow some soap? I'm not well. So I went to the doctor, right? Because I thought I was going deaf. I go to a lot of doctors. I don't even make appointments. They just call the house.
We've been told to bring you in.
I thought I was going deaf. I couldn't hear nothing on this side. And then I found out I wasn't going deaf at all. I had so much wax in my ear, when they flushed it out, it was a Yankee Candle. Yeah, so now I'm in my head going, is that why I keep smelling pumpkin spice? Then the doctor told me you're not supposed to use Q-tips. Did you know that? You're not supposed to use a Q-tip? Because when you use one, it just pushes everything in there further. Nobody ever told me that. And if they did tell me, I probably didn't hear it. Because I've been using Q-tips for years, and I work it. I look like a Civil War soldier loading a musket. I just run. I'll be right there! Woo! I'm smelling a lot of apple blossom, Sergeant. Yes, I am dizzy. I should not be doing that. Anybody else smell toast? I feel like half my brain's like, what's the next joke, Dale? And the other half is like, we just been in an accident.
And my airbag did not deploy. My shower's ready.
Here's a thought that'll keep you up at night. I'm somebody's grandpa. One person's clapping and everybody else is like,
You are enabling him. Stop giving the bad monkey a cookie.
I'm somebody's grandpa. There's a little girl that looks at me and goes, he's cool. And when her whole brain starts working, she's gonna be like,
I was wrong. Peepaw should be wearing my diaper.
yeah, she calls me Peepaw. Apparently urine dad was taken. She's awesome. She's amazing. I can't wait till her parents trust me enough to let me babysit. Because when they do, I'm going to take her to Walmart, because that's where dreams come true. I'm going to walk around with her, and people come up and go, that is a beautiful baby. I know, right? You better hurry. There's only 4 left. I found this one sitting in the cart by itself.
Wasn't even on the shelf yet.
This is usually when me and my therapist switch places because he wants to lay down on the couch. I've been fired by 5 therapists. 5. The last one said, it's not me, it's you. And now I have a new therapist and we're practicing boundaries, which means I am no longer allowed in the office. Because we got into it on day 1. He's like, tell me a little bit about yourself, Dale. And I just quit drinking. I'm trying to hold it together. I'm like, I've been in this building 30 seconds. You need to pump the brakes. And then he got the whole attitude with me. I can't help you if you don't. You want to yell at me? I got demons. Yes, I do. I got demons. How about you?
And for some reason, that scared him.
He threw a bottle of water at me. It was like a redneck exorcism. Aquafina! So I jumped up on the couch. Dasani. Let me explain. My wife is very patient. I said that wrong. Let me start over. My wife is a patient. And here's how things work at our house. We'll get in a fight, right? But I don't understand what the fight's about, because all I hear in my head is, just keep screaming, Dale, and you'll win. That poor woman, I turn things into fights that aren't even fights. All she said was, baby, I love you. But sometimes you make me want to climb the walls. And I lost it. I was like, if you turn into Spider-Man before me, I'm going to be pissed. Hot shot college graduate, and now you're an Avenger? I don't think so. And my wife is so patient, but she's half Cuban. And the Cuban side is like, let's just stab him in the neck and bury the body. We can't. Our papers are not in order. So she just goes even calmer method. She's like, you got two options, Dale. You can sleep on the couch or in the yard. And I go, that's what you think. And I drug the couch out in the yard.